mean, I haven't been around in like 15 years and like people are still remembering me, calling me iconic and legend.
Hi, my name is Abby Maria.
Hi, my name is Saul.
Wendell Holland.
Brandon Donlin. Shaheen, not Shaheen.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Gabler, the Alligabler, coming to you live on Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Survivor Squared.
Welcome everyone to the final episode of Survivor Squared before the finale of season 50. And today we brought on one of the biggest guests we've ever had on this show. She competed in a final herself. She competed in a comeback season herself, one of the biggest of all time. I'm so excited to talk to Danielle DiLorenzo Nath today, someone who I started off a relationship on rocky footing. We'll go through all of that, but she has been so great to me to build up a relationship since then, and I'm so excited to talk to her about everything that happened during her 2 seasons and everything that's going on season 50 and everything that's going on in between in her life. She's now a mother. She's now a wife. She's doing all these great things and is now back in the world of Survivor to talk about everything as openly and as honestly as any guest I've had on this show. But this is it right here, folks. Just a few days away, the finale of season 50 will be upon us. Bailey Buffs and I, don't tell anyone because it's kind of still a secret, we're attending the live finale in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be chasing the dragon that whole evening, doing everything I can to meet everyone I can to get them on this show, and it has been such an insane ride from where we've started to where we are now, and it's only going up from here. So if you like this show, if you want to subscribe, if you want to help us grow, we do truly appreciate it, and I'm not just saying that because it's because of the fans, you guys liking this stuff so much, that we've grown to where we are today, and we're able to do the things that CBS and Paramount are allowing us to do. Cannot wait for everything to unfold, and I cannot wait for you guys to listen to this interview, and it's coming up next. As I said in the intro, for the finale of Survivor 50, we had to bring on a person who has been through a finale herself. I'm so excited to bring on this wonderful, wonderful guest because we may have started off in a rocky relationship, but now I cannot wait to pick her brain on everything having to do with the world of Survivor. Please come on in, Danielle. Danielle, I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to you, Tony. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, first off, because it's an interesting relationship that you and I started off on this page, and I want to give the viewers kind of some perspective here because I started off my Survivor journey, as some of the people watching know, watching all these seasons, making recaps on my channel. Every Saturday I'd have recaps with video clips, and people were really enjoying it, and I didn't really know what I was getting into. I also didn't really know my footing in the space, how I wanted to treat these recaps. And when I got to your first season, Exile Island, I watched that season, and the recap I made, looking back on it now, was not exactly the voice that I wanted to have out there in these internet streets. I truthfully did not like Shane very much, and I let my dislike for him sort of color the entire recap. And I was unfair to pretty much everyone in that recap, including yourself. And when you saw that, you messaged me and explained to me why I should give your gameplay a little bit more of a better viewing, a better color, because of what you went through on that island. And I sat back. I literally watched that again. This was months later. I watched that again, and I'm like, she was effing right. She called me out, and she told me to put me in my place, and she was unbelievably correct. And the reason I'm so excited to have you on is not just because, I made a mistake and I need to go back and fix that, but you had such grace to explain that to me and stand up for yourself, which is what it's such a unique perspective in this world of Survivor. When you're coming out there, you're putting yourself out there in the world of reality TV. You're getting all these opinions thrown at you, including some idiot in 20 years later making recaps online. And you stood there and said, listen, Tony, I'm going to tell you how it is. And then still had the grace to give me the olive branch of like, we're still going to have a relationship here. Even though you thought some wrong things about my gameplay, I still want to, I love what you're doing and I want to be in contact with you. So, long story short, Danielle, I'm so excited to have you on here, and thank you so much for messaging me and talking to me about Exile Island. And I'm again, I cannot thank you enough for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate you giving the background on how this all kind of came about. But yeah, I mean, I took a long hiatus from Survivor. I was in mama bear mode. I wanted to build my family and create a family. And so I kind of stayed off of like social media and stayed out of the Survivor community only because I wanted to focus on becoming a mama. That was kind of like my goal. As my kids have gotten a little bit older, I'm just craving I'm curious and I want to just check out the Survivor stuff. So I went back online and I came across your page and I listened to your thing and I was like, oh man. That was hard because I feel like a lot of people kind of felt that way at points because of Shane and but yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of myself. Like I was 24 years old. I don't think people remember. I was 24 years old. Everyone else that I played with besides Aris was 10 years older than me. Shane was 35. Sari was 36. So they had a lot more skilled life experiences to pull from and skill sets, and I came in second place, man. Like I competed up against a Navy SEAL, an international Division I college athlete, which I was a Division I college athlete myself, but I'm a female and I'm competing up against these two strong men that were had just this huge rivalry clearly, and that's how the edit showed it, and it was true. I was the only female that season to win an immunity challenge. I won the last immunity challenge to get myself to the final to do the fire challenge, which I beat Sari in the fire challenge. I took Aris to the end. I built strong alliances. I played a really strategic game. Nobody came after me. I always was on the side of the numbers. I was a tough competitor. I mean, I kicked ass and I stuck up for myself because Shane was so evil to me. He was so mean. He was bullying me the whole time. And I got bullied in high school. So that was triggering a lot of stuff for me. And I really wish I just talked a lot more about my story and what I was experiencing. And that's something that I really wanted to work on after my first season of Survivor. I'm I need to learn. And it's not that I needed to learn. My voice was so quiet because I was just trying to navigate through this game. And another, a little nugget of information that I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I only had 3 weeks to prepare for the first time I was on Survivor. And I got scouted in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay pool. And in the end of September, Lynn Spillman and Erica Shea walked up to me. I was at a bachelorette party with 25 girls. And she walked up to me and she goes, I've been watching you for 2 days. I love your energy. I think you would be great on either Amazing Race, or she said Survivor first, Survivor or Amazing Race. Have you heard of either of these shows? And I said, yeah, of course I've heard of them. But I'm I honestly, at that time, I'm a massive Survivor fan now. But at that time, I had only watched a couple episodes of Survivor. Yeah. And I think a couple episodes of Amazing Race. And I come from an old school Italian family. And when she initially asked me about going on an island and starving to death, I was that does not excite me. I'm sorry. I'm just not really that interested. I don't know. I'm I don't know. And she's well, take my card and think about it. We've already narrowed it down to 40 contestants. We'll fly you in with the 40 contestants. Wow. They had been interviewing them since January. This was the end of September. We left to shoot October 10th. Do you realize the turnaround? And I had to do all of this homework and binge all these episodes to try to kind of grasp some kind of game, strategic idea of how I was going to play this game. The people that get casted now, they've been watching the show for since they were 8 and they have all these ideas throughout the years of how they want to play. And me, it's I literally had 3 weeks to figure all this out. Then I get on the island. And then I picked Crazy Shane because he had a Boston tattoo. And you know why I picked him? Because he had a Boston tattoo. I grew up in Boston. That is my hometown. And also my best friend's father was in a rock band called Boston. And he was the drummer, Sibby Hashin. And so I had the connection to the Boston name. And that is why I picked him at the schoolyard pick. And you know what? I friggin' made it through. He was so hard to work with. He was manic. He had outbursts. He was mean to me. I was triggered from the bullying from school, and I freaking got to the end. Okay? I worked my ass off. I got to the end. No credit. So thank you for inviting me back for Heroes vs. Villains because I really got to redeem myself and
Yes.
prove like I am a badass woman.
Yes.
I've got this. Like I can handle myself in any situation, even when I'm 24 years old. Like, you know, like
that was
that felt really good. That felt really good.
I'm so happy. It felt like we were just letting it all out there. Finally, we got to get all this. This was perfect.
So when I saw your post, circle back, I had to tell you all of all this stuff just resonated from like the past 20 years, man. I kind of just stepped away from it and stopped doing the events and all that kind of stuff, and I stayed out of it. Cause it was kind of traumatic for me after my first season. Like I felt like here I am, I play this great game in my head, and then I go back and the edits they show the edit, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I guess I didn't like, I knew I played a good game, but like it made me so insecure watching the edit. It made me feel like I didn't do a great job. Like I wasn't I wasn't as strategic as I thought I was, and whatever. Like it just didn't make me feel good about myself, and I had to work through that for a long time. And I thought I had won. Suri, I love Suri, and I know this is the game, but like when it got down to taking Terry or Aris, I had all intention of taking Aris. I was never contemplating taking Terry because I knew he's a Navy SEAL. He's going to beat me no matter what. He won all these immunity challenges. He's like, on his team by himself pretty much, and got, pretty far with like everyone chasing after him, trying to get him voted off the entire time. So she told me that if I took Aris, that she would get everybody at Ponderosa to vote for me for the $1 million, and she swore on her kids. And at that time, I like took her word because I was like, she swore on her kids, like I didn't even have kids at that time, and I feel like that's kind of like if you swear on your kids, like you're telling the truth, you know. But it's Survivor, and so she voted for Aris, obviously, and I didn't win. So that was like really, really hard for me, a hard pill to swallow, because I thought I won until I started watching the edits and I realized that I didn't. And then just a lot of the edits just made me feel insecure, and it made me feel like I wasn't good enough to get a better edit because I was a female, and it was all about the male rivalry. And I just didn't, I was underestimated. But you know what? I got to go back, and I'm so grateful for being able to play heroes versus villains because it was such a redemption. Like I redeemed myself in a way. Like it made me feel empowered and strong. And like these are the things I knew about myself the first season, but because of the edit, it didn't come off. I mean, it did, but to a certain extent. But I think heroes versus villain really like did me some justice as far as like showed that I'm not going to take any shit from anybody, and I'm gonna carry my own. I'm gonna hold my own. I'm gonna be a challenge beast, and I'm a social butterfly. I'm able to connect with people on a deep level, to the point where people don't dislike me. And I'm not on people's radar. Like I'm not like one of those people that I'm not flashy, and I just do things very nonchalantly. And that's how I got to the end, and that's how I almost got to the end again. And I feel like if I didn't have that breakdown with Russell, Russell would have been gone. First of 100%. All, that next week would have been gone. Parveen and I had a conversation. We talked about it all the time. That he would have been gone, and so would have had a real good shot at winning heroes versus villains.
Well, I want to get into all of it. But there's so much from that I do want to touch on. First off, a big conversation that I have with every Survivor guest that I have on here, especially some of the recent new era players that are just now sort of reminiscing of, they filmed their season, now people are watching their season, now people are reacting to them on their season, and social media, I've lived on it for long enough, it is not a great place to be when you're putting yourself out there, especially if you go looking for bad comments, you will find the bad comments coming against you. So I want to talk to you because you mentioned how I had Juwan from season 49 on recently, and he left me a sentence that has stayed with me since he said it. In that Survivor, when they're making the show, they're not making a documentary. They're making a reality show. So they're going to edit it in certain ways and tell certain stories because of the way they want things portrayed. And you said right here that the edit was showing the male rivalry versus showcasing what you could do in your game. And because of that, you needed heroes versus villains yourself to realize, like, no, this is me, hear me roar. So I want to ask you the same question I asked these other Survivor players. For the new players that are coming out for 51 and 52, their seasons are coming down the line. Eventually, they're going to be put on the national stage. Do you have any advice to them on how they can realize what's going on, ride the wave of this popularity, but at the same time, don't get overwhelmed by it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all comes down to like your internal love for yourself and being able to quiet all the noise around you as far as the social media comments. Like, stay off that stuff. It's not going to do you any good, man. Like, it's so hard to see those comments and have it not live in you and carry that with you. I think therapy, honestly, is a great asset to have after Survivor. I think everybody should go and talk to a therapist. I think you should find ways to find internal peace and like quiet your minds, like yoga. Like, I found yoga after my first season when I was like 26. I took my first yoga class. I've been doing it for 20 years. It's the most therapeutic thing in my life. And it's a godsend. Like, it's literally like transformed me. Understand that it's such a giant platform and you're not everybody's going to like you and not everybody's going to say nice things about you. And that's okay. Because if you just be confident with who you are, where you come from, and do the inner work on yourself, so that stuff doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you have to find things to make you happy and find peace in your life, and just be confident with who you are. So I never rewatched my seasons after they aired. And so when I got that call for season 50, they wanted me to come back on, I was like, incredibly excited, but also terrified, because I'm like, how am I going to do this? At the time, had a 2- and a 3-year-old. I'm like, how am I going to leave my kids? I never left them for more than 24 hours. How am I going to leave them for 7 weeks and then also leave my poor husband with 2 babies by himself? It was so hard. And so, I got that call and I realized that I'm like, I'm going to probably be on podcast and people are going to ask me after I made that post about getting cut at the last minute. I got all these calls for podcasts and stuff. And I'm like, I need to re-educate myself and remind myself of like my seasons. It's been 20 years. Holy God. Like, I'm going to get asked questions and I'm not going to remember. So I went back and watched my seasons and I can't even tell you, like, the stuff that still lived inside me. Like I had trauma that like resonated and I was like, why am I feeling this way? But I have the tools now to be able to work through that through therapy and through yoga and just loving myself, self-love, self-talk, all the things. So I was able to work through that, but it was interesting to me. I'm like, I can't believe I'm still feeling these feelings after 20 years, and not like, I didn't even rewatch my seasons until that time. So yeah,
Wow.
That just goes to show you, like, it doesn't go away unless you work at it. You need to work at it.
Watching it back, season 12, and then we'll get into season 20, watching Exile Island back, I wanted to ask you, and you kind of went through it all originally, but what's the one thing watching it back that you are proudest of from that season? Like, what's the one thing you could hang your hat on? I'm so happy that this happened and I showcased this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy that I won that final immunity challenge. The fire challenge to me was like, I was really impressed with myself under those. Like, my nerves were like through the roof. Like, that's another thing that I didn't talk about, but my anxiety, I had such bad anxiety on that show. Like, the first time, I just remember that. I still remember that feeling. I'm sitting down and just like doing that. That was a great, and coming in second place, like coming in second, making 39 days. Let's talk about how the game that I played, but first played 20 years ago, was a much different game than the game today. Let's talk about like the amount of clothes that they get, the water situation. Like, you can't just go, back then you had to hike up a giant hill with big canteens and like move your way through sticks and twigs and get cuts, get all the way to the top, fetch the water, then hike all the way back down. But I'm telling you, these canteens were giant canteens. And then we come back down and then you had to make a fire. That's a whole thing. Put the water in the bowl, boil the water, and then you had to divvy up the water to 14 different canteens, and you had to sit and let it cool down for one sip of water. okay? I didn't have water for 7 days. I had no water for 7 days. We lost the first challenge. We couldn't get Flint. I also stayed in a tree trunk for 2 days in the pouring rain on Exile Island, and almost suffered hypothermia. I'm proud that I got through that. Like that. And beating Aris and Terry on that lily pad, I could have balanced there for 5 hours. I did gymnastics. I've worked out my whole life. Like that's the other thing too. It's like I was prepared for Survivor without even knowing that I was ever going to get on Survivor. I just lived my life. I was an athlete throughout my entire life. I played all like Division I college soccer in college, but I played all year round. I was varsity all 4 years. That's why they call me captain of sports. I was captain. That's my nickname on social media, which I think is hilarious. But it builds confidence, and it's really good for teamwork. And like you can tell the difference between people, Shane, that played sports and had good, qualities about them, characteristics because of that. And it's instilled qualities in you in your life. So I don't know. I'm just going off my tangents here.
No, I love it because I can tell I want to get into the family and I want to get into all that stuff too, but you are coming back into the world of Survivor with this Survivor 50, and I can tell it's like you have all of these things to share. Like you've held these all up and now you're like, I'm ready to tell my story, and I'm so happy about it.
Oh, it's so great. Because another thing, it's like motherhood is the best thing in the entire planet. It's the thing I wanted most in my life. I've given up my career. I devoted the last 6 years of my life. I went through IVF with both of my kids. So I did hundreds of injections to get pregnant, to stay pregnant. Through COVID, I did that all by myself. I was terrified of needles. I've come through like so much, and my kids are now both at a point where they're in school full time, and so now I'm starting to do things for me again. I've devoted so much of my life to my husband and my kids, and now it's like I want to do things for me, and it's very empowering. And so to come back into the Survivor community where people are so supportive and loving, getting that call for season 50 has honestly been, it's Survivor's the gift that just keeps giving. Like it's like crazy how it's like 10 years, it helps me grow and evolve and change and improve myself. And it's so amazing. Like it's helped me figure out what I want to do. Like I'm going back to school now. I'm going to get my master's in clinical psychology. I want to be a marriage family therapist and help family, children, and individuals. So I'm going back to school in the fall. And I'm just like, I feel like Survivor just like ignited this fire in me. And I'm really grateful for the community because it's just been so nice and fulfilling to come back into such a supportive group of people and doing these podcasts with you and Rob and, the Survivor Nerd podcast that I've been doing. And it's just been so great.
It's a story that I keep hearing with a lot of Survivor players that have sort of gone off and like they left Survivor, did their stuff and have come back. This season 50 has been a comeback for not just the players on our screen, but the players surrounding it. I've heard so many stories just like that this is the first season they've watched in X amount of seasons because everyone seems to be building this back up. And I'm so happy to be making these silly podcasts and silly videos during this time because it feels like there's a big rush of Survivor popularity, and it's been a blast to see everyone come back.
It does.
But
it does. It feels like that.
You had that moment, and you guys had that surge during Heroes versus Villains. When you guys all came back for season 20, it was such a big landmark of a season, and so many things went on with it, and obviously a season that you hold so proudly. Go back to those feelings, though, when you were coming back. Season 12 has aired. You've dealt with all that stuff, and now you're coming back for season 20. Were there any nerves there when you were getting onto that island, or did you immediately land there and go, I'm going to take this thing over? And then afterwards, how was it dealing with that airing and all the popularity surrounding it?
I think I was better prepared the second time. I knew what to expect. I knew the things that I needed to work on. I worked on them, and I felt really confident coming back in a second time. I set an intention for myself. I wanted to play a strategic game. I wanted to play a more emotional game, which is ironic because now looking back, I would wipe the emotions completely out of the equation. Like Aubrey, the psycho assassin, I call her. She is so regulated and she's a mama. And that is so incredible to watch her be so regulated because that is hard. to not be emotional when you're an emotional person and let your emotions get in the way of the game.
I do want to touch on Aubrey as well, because it's been remarkable to watch her play. We're in the final 5 right now, a few days away from seeing the finale, live finale. I cannot wait. So lucky to be actually in person and be there. It's going to be a crazy night. But Aubrey's the last remaining old era player with 4 new era people surrounding her, and she has been that psycho assassin, like you said. She has been picking people off and knowing exactly where to go
Nobody's
when the waves
paying
are coming
attention to
after
her.
She's
Nobody's
been amazing.
paying attention to her.
So you
And that's
watching...
like she's playing an underrated game, which is what I did. You don't want to be flashy. You don't want, I mean, if you want, I mean, obviously like it's certain personality types. If you're trying to play for the camera, that's one thing, but I was trying to win $1 million. I'm not trying to play for the camera, you know, like
absolutely
there's 2 different types of players in Survivor. I think it's for everybody that comes back. Like you always want to play a different game or just be stronger, you know what you did wrong the first time and you want to improve on it, and that gives you confidence, right? Like being prepared. You know, I had something to prove. I wanted to show everybody that I am a strategic player, I am a badass female, and I am playing a strategic and a social game, and I'm gonna get to the end again, and I would have had I not had that emotional breakdown.
But that's the game of Survivor.
If I were to play again, 0 emotions. Pack them in the suitcase, tuck them under the bed for another time. No emotions.
But that's the beauty
and that's
of
when
these.
We come back to Aubrey.
Yeah.
Aubrey is like crushing it. Like this, she's a mama too. Like I'm very impressed with the way that she has regulated herself. She talks about her anxiety and her anxiousness in her past seasons, and she didn't want to play that way. She set that intention. You can tell. Calls herself a psycho multiple times throughout the season. When she had to eat those grubs. When she was talking to Devins about blowing up Stephanie and Jonathan's game in the tribal council, and I think one time in the immunity challenge. And I think she's not doing that for self-destruction. She's doing it to motivate herself, to hype herself up, because you can tell she has set a strong intention before she came out on that island that she was going to get to the end and win the $1 million. That's how she's playing. She's not flashy. She is underrated. She's picking people off. She's as an assassin, and they have no idea it's her, and nobody's paying attention to it. It's beautiful. It's freaking, I give her so much credit. And even like the love letter that she read, but like they showed like a long shot of her on the hammock, and everybody else is like super affected by the family letters. She's just sitting there reading it. Like they don't focus on her, but you can see it. And she didn't look like she even let that get her. It's like she really hunkered down and like told herself, like, I'm not gonna let my nerves get in the way. And then she calls her nerves her best friends, which I think is brilliant. Another brilliant thing. And she's from New Hampshire. I didn't know she was from New Hampshire. That's amazing. I was like, she said it in Rob's podcast on stage. I was like, what? You're from New Hampshire? Now I love you even more. You're a masshole too. Well, I guess you're not a masshole, but close enough.
The New Hampshire, they consider themselves masshole, and we can debate that for another day. But they consider themselves. But outside of Aubrey, though, and with Heroes versus Villains, the same kind of thing happened. Everyone I feel in season 50 came with either a point to prove or some dedication. Like Aubrey, she had a goal in mind, and I feel like this gameplay right from Jump Street has been full of fire and passion. People really going for it and trying to prove that they need to be at the top of this season. And you watching this back again and watching season 50 coming back after a few seasons, knowing you survived Heroes versus Villains and you dealt with that same thing where all of those players came out there, and whether they were a hero or a villain, they were like, this is my island, I'm going to win this thing. Have you enjoyed the ride that season 50 has given us because of this gameplay and because of these players?
It's funny because I have a connection with so many of those players. So for me, it stung a lot when I didn't make it to the to 50. And so I was really kind of like hesitant. I'm like, how is this going? Like some of the people still not like sure some of the cast choices, but for the most part, I'm really stoked. And when that first episode aired, I was like, okay, let's go. I was fired up. I got fired up. I was like, woo, all right, now we're talking. Like now I see all the hype about it. Like they did a good job. Like I think everybody's like living up to the hype. I could have cared less about any of the celebrity stuff. I think that, was whatever, but I am enjoying the season. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I love to watch people, the evolution of people. Like, I played twice and I know how I wanted to be when I learned the things that I wanted to work on after seeing myself play the first time and come back and, improve on that. And that's what I love to see, the improvement on people, the work that people have done, and like setting these intentions and really trying to play a different game. Like Jonathan, like he's done a great job playing a different game. Like, it's not easy to come out there for a game for $1 million and just like roll the dice and be like, okay, it's just more comfortable to drop into what you did before.
Yeah.
So to kind of make those adjustments and, and be more risky and take big risks. Like, I think that's amazing. And I give them a lot of credit for that.
We see it again in Rizzo in the fact that he played 49, lasted all the way to the end. He goes home for 10 days maybe, and he's back on the beach for 50. It's
21
similar.
days. I looked it up.
Oh,
He
unbelievable.
had a 21-day break. 3 weeks.
Unbelievable.
That's insane. I was just going to get to Rizzo because Rizzo's got the Riz, man. Rizzo is amazing. I love Rizzo. I met him at the drag show that I went to in New York and Brooklyn. I'm like, I didn't even recognize him. I'm like, oh my God, that's Rizzo. Like, he's like, has all this weight on him and he looks great. Like, he just looks like, like a healthy boy, man. But like, he looks like a totally different person on the show. So I was like, wow. And then he's just so charismatic. He's so charming. He's playing a phenomenal game. I mean, the kid has got more wisdom that beyond his years. Like, I just remember like a couple things like where he's the voice of reason. He put coach in his place when coach was being coach. And like, he's just so regulated and he's so strong and he's so strategic. He aligned with Suri, which was like an Aussie. Like, that was a major move, man. Like, you could go against the threats or you align with the threats and you align with the threats. That's how you do it.
I brought him up not just because of his gameplay, but because you can see it, even though he's already skinny to begin with, you can see it in his body from the start of 49 to where he is now. The kid has just lost so much so fast.
Oh my God.
And
they were saying he was sick. Like, he was so sick. Like,
it's crazy. So like, it's still very much real. Water's easier to get. Water is definitely easier to get, but it's still very much real and harsh
100%.
on these guys.
I'm not disregarding how hard it is now. It's definitely still super hard, but it was harder back when I did it.
Also,
29 days, 26 days. Come on. No, it's still incredibly hard. And I give them all so much credit. Like, especially like Suri doing this a fifth time. Like,
unbelievable.
But Rizzo's, I'm so impressed with him. He's only 29. Like,
I think he's even younger than that. I think he's like 25, 26.
Or 26. Maybe he's 26.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's really impressive.
It's crazy. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy that he made another final episode. I'm excited to see how it all plays out with Jonathan, with Joe, with Aubrey, with Tiffany, who's playing a fantastic game. I cannot wait to see how it all goes down. But I do want to ask, now that we have the perspective as fans, we look back on a moment like Heroes vs. Villains season 20, and you think of all the great things that happen. And the one big thing that stands out is JT writing that love letter to Russell, and him and Russell and Parvati reading it on the beach. It's just a moment that will live on forever. What is the one moment, if we can pick from season 50, that has stuck out to you to be like, that's what I'm going to think about all the time? Is it Rick Devens and Christian hiding the fake idol? Is it poor Christian soiling himself? Like, what exactly is the thing that sticks out to you from season 50?
I think the Aussie situation really stands out to me, how he blew up his game himself and just really got ahead of himself. And like, that's like the Survivor No 101 book. Like, you don't get too arrogant and cocky about where you're at in the game. You can't look too far ahead because it always backfires. Yeah. And I'm like, just watching him say all that stuff to Aubrey was mind blowing. Because he did such a good job at playing a different game. Like, he really was. He like made it, you can tell he worked on himself and he really tried to come in and not be so reactionary, and like he was grounded and he kind of played like he setback, and he played like a low profile game, even though he had an idol, and like people weren't really like, they were worried, but not really that worried. That's another thing about Rizzo. It's like the kid had an idol again for like nobody's. I mean, Tiffany is the only one that was like, guys, you cannot let him through the six with an idol. Like how she was the only one. Nobody else was like bothered by that blows my mind. If I will be honest, and it's not because of Mr. Beats, but the coin toss, I thought the performance from Devins of like just getting up, raising his hand just as fast as he did, and having such a like, just being so optimistic and so confident that like he just literally could have gone home. Like that coin could have flipped to tails and he could have been gone, and it didn't faze him. Like that to me was like, wow, like this guy is like playing such a positive mindset game that like he is not even fazed by this situation. Like that I doubt anyone else would raise their hand if he didn't do it. So I'm glad that he did it, but it's really, that to me was like, wow, that was like a pivotal moment of like, holy shit, this guy's playing such a risky game and he's having so much fun with it, and it's really fun to watch.
Enthusiasm that was contagious. Like you could see it through the screen.
God.
You got excited about it because he was
jumped
excited.
Up and smiling, like he was like so happy, like a little kid at Christmas. Like it was great. It was so fun to watch him, and it was beautiful the way that it, you know, how it worked out, and I was really happy for him and the rest of the survivors to get that extra $1 million. That's crazy. And I've always been saying, I'm like, raise the money. It's inflation. Raise the money. Like,
so we have Devin's
20 years later, the same prize.
We have Devin's coin flip. We have Ozzy going out. All these great moments, and then all the way at the bottom is the Zach Brown spearfishing montage. We probably could leave that behind when we do the recaps.
I don't even remember that. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I do want to touch on though the years you've spent, and now that we are a family matters, we got all the 2 children and the mom life going. I asked this about Wendell because I had him on, and he has his son, and he talks about his son all the time. And I like asking this of Survivor players who played when they were younger, and now we've gone through life, and now we're at a different point in life. How has being a mom changed you personally? Like, how have you grown from it? Have you learned some things about yourself from it? I know you said you give everything to your children, but what has it changed in you?
It's taught me patience. It's taught me unconditional love. Like, I mean, I'm obsessed with my husband and my parents and my sister and my brother, but your love for your child is just on like another level. And watching them, raising them, teaching them things, inspiring them, encouraging them, like living your life for them and being their role model essentially is so gratifying and fulfilling. It's such a beautiful thing that lives inside of me, and that it's changed me. Like it's just made me so grateful for my life and for theirs. Like it wasn't easy having kids for me, and so I'm just blessed and I'm happy. It's hard. There is some really hard moments in motherhood and fatherhood and being a parent. It's hard, but it's shown me that I need to do work on myself, and I do that, and that I'm constantly growing and improving myself, and they are inspiring me to do that. And so that's to always just want to keep being better and growing is such an accomplishment, and it's such a great quality to have. And so they have blessed me with that. And so, yeah, it's the best feeling in the whole world. And I'm just starting to tell them that I've done Survivor. I'm trying to kind of like, my 3-year-old kind of gets it, but like my 3-year-old's like, Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. But like, I'm so excited to like be able to show them like, your mom is a badass. Like she did 2 seasons of Survivor, like watch her, like, you know, like I started to show them a clip the other morning, and they were like, what are you doing, Mom? And I think I was like yelling at Sandra in some clip that like posted on recently, and someone like added me at it. I was like, oh, I was watching. They're like, what are you watching? I'm like, you want to see your mom yell at Sandra?
That makes me so happy to hear that. And then out of the 2 of them, who's showing the traits to be a future Survivor champion?
They both are in different ways. They're both so competitive. Like my husband and I are like so competitive. It's crazy. Like everything's a competition in this house, you know, like who can eat their food the fastest, or who can take their clothes off and get in the tub first, or like we have to make everything like a competition. That way, like, you know, they actually like do it fast. Otherwise it's like pulling teeth trying to get them to do certain things. So But yeah, no, they're both like super athletic. I have them in all the things. They're in jujitsu, soccer, swim, and just
Wow.
like when I was little, my mom had me in painting lessons. She had me ice skating. I did gymnastics for like 8 years, and soccer, and like I was, I skied. I was like, she had me professionally skiing. I did
Wow.
modeling, like had me in all the things. So I'm just trying to give them as many things, options and things that they could potentially like. And I want to see what they gravitate to. And they're really loving the sports. My son loves basketball and soccer, and they're really loving jujitsu, and it's teaching them confidence and teamwork. And, it's great. It's all
That's awesome.
great. And it's so fun. It's so fun to watch them. And I'm probably going to coach my son. Like that's what makes me so happy, because I like grew up playing soccer, and I'm the crazy mom on the sideline. Like, 4-year-old kids, it's like, all right, let's do it. Like my husband's like, chill out. Like you are being that mom right now. And I was like, I just need to coach them. That is the problem. I just need to coach. So
I had Jeremy Collins on the pod, and him and his wife Val have a podcast now talking about being parents of kids who play sports, because he has 2 kids that are in D1 in college, and he also has 2 younger kids that are coming through like the middle school, high school era. So he's talking about all these stories with his wife about all the things that have happened, and they're very dissimilar when it comes to being the parent on the sideline. One of them is very reserved, one of them is very out there, and it's just fun to hear.
I'm the crazy one. My husband's the more reserved one.
It's just very funny to hear that, of course, the people who played Survivor and exceeded at Survivor are going to be the one yelling on the sideline.
Are going to be like the crazy competitive ones. And my son, my youngest, he's his negotiation skills. This kid at three is very impressive. I'm like, he'll go back and forth with me on things. I'm like, you can have 2. He's like, 4. I'm like, buddy, I said 2. He's like, 3. I'm like, unbelievable. I'm like, fine, 3. Like he's 3. He's 3 years old, negotiating. Like with everything he does that. I'm like, where are you learning that? He's learning it from me. But like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, you yourself in the human that you created. It's so fun.
I will. Normally, I ask the Survivor players when I have them on during the season. I want them to predict the future here, but we are at the finale, and people might be watching this after the finale. So instead, since this returning season has been such a success, I'm not one of those Survivor fans that believes they need to have a returning season every single season. I like new blood. I like having new casts out there. But I want to ask you, Danielle, in the future, if Survivor 55 is a returning season, I'm begging them to bring back the themes of old, whether it be anything out there, Survivor Second Chance or Heroes vs. Villains or Exile Island or anything like that. Is there a particular returning season theme that you would want to see as a fan? Maybe it's Blood versus Water when the younger boys get old enough and you can bring them out there with you. Is there anything you would like to see return in a returning season?
How about an all-female show?
Ooh.
How about an all-female Survivor?
I like that. I haven't heard that one in a while.
That would be pretty freaking awesome. And then they can do an all-male, you can do an all-female and an all-male. That would be rad. I think we need an all-female show to give all the strong females a chance at a great edit, and the males won't be in the way. Like they're forced to show a few of us and the shining light like they do with the males all the time. So yeah, let's do an all-female show. Let's switch it up. Why not? That would be freaking awesome.
Love it. Fantastic. That's fantastic. I'll call up Jeff. We'll get him on the phone and make sure we can convince him to do it. And that's perfect. But Danielle, again, I am so happy that you reached out when you did. I'm so happy that we got to get together and record this. I've had so much fun chatting with you about this and talking about your family and your growth since Survivor. This Survivor world, this Survivor community has accepted me personally with open arms, and it has been such a fun ride for me. And this conversation has been a fantastic part of it, and I'm so happy it happened. But again, thank you for coming on, Danielle. I had a blast.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. I'm like, it's therapeutic in a way too. Can you tell I have a lot of things to say? So no, this is awesome. I really appreciate everybody for the support and the love. And I am just so stoked to be back in the Survivor community. So thank you, Tony. I'm so excited I got to speak to Tony Squares, like a celebrity. in the Survivor world. Like, this is so cool. I'm so happy. And we rekindled our relationship because it started off rocky. So now we're buddies, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
We're Boston buddies. And we got the
Absolutely.
same old school Italian family situation. So we're good.
There's too many
Put us
similarities.
on Survivor together and we're in alliance. We're good.
Well, maybe.
You and I.
I don't know. I might be cutthroat. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out. I bet you might be too dangerous to bring along. I can't sit next to you at the final. You'll win. I gotta make my cuts. But no, that's it. That's it for today's show. Me and Bailey Buffs will be back on Thursday to break down the finale of Survivor Season 50 and what a wild ride it has been. And we shall see you then.